Welcome back to my channel, Quilter Chris. My name is Kristen and I'm so glad you're here. So thanks so much for watching. I am doing this just before we leave for our house hunting adventure in our new place, but I wanted to kind of give you an update on what I'm working on and how that's going and all that good stuff. So you'll probably see this Wednesday or Thursday of next week. So I have a few projects that I've been working on. First, I have done the, let's see. First, we'll go over this project. This is this pattern. It is called Autumn Acres. It's, the designer is J. Recker Frisch by Old Maid. It's Riley Blake Designs. So this was a pattern my daughter picked out for me. I hadn't even seen it before. I'm usually not a big Halloween fan. Nothing wrong if you are. That's just not usually me, but she is. So she picked out some fabrics for this and the pattern, and she gave that to me for Christmas, which was so sweet. And so I used some the fabric she gave me and some fabrics from my stash, and I have been working on it. And so I have done just a couple of blocks from this pattern. This one right here. And these are cats. That's one of the fabrics that she got for me. This middle orange one, those are like tickets. They're tickets like from an amusement park, but they're all sewing themed. And this is just a gray I had in my stash. So I've done that one. And I've done this one. Let me put it right side up for you. So here it is. And this fabric here, this text fabric, that's one that she got for me. The text is how to make a witch's hat. And then that's that same orange. And then some gray, black, and white from my stash. So that's one that I've been working on. I'm probably going to try to do 2 blocks a week on that quilt until I finish it. You can see it behind me. The pattern, there's not too many blocks, but we'll see how it goes. She gave me the pattern and the fabric for Christmas, and so I will put the quilt together, quilt it, and then I'll probably give it to her. The next one that I did, we've talked about this quite a bit. This was in the heart-shaped box. It came as a quilt kit, so I do have the backing for it. So basically this is a pretty easy pattern. It uses a layer cake or fat eighths, and it came with a layer cake. It was really pretty, and it came in this pretty heart-shaped box. All these colors of pinks and reds and everything. Funny story, I had a really busy week when I was working on this, and I had sewn them all together and hadn't pressed them yet. And one of my other adult daughters was here, and all of a sudden, my stack of blocks ended up magically pressed with the seams open. I was like, how did that happen? And she's like, I have no idea. But yeah, so I was able to get that finished. It is right here. And you can see, I'll take some pictures of the whole quilt top before I quilt it, and I will place those here in this video. Next, what I've been working on is the designer mystery. So this is February's block. I know this is March. I haven't gotten March's block yet in the mail, so that means it's not late, right? So this was February's block. It was very interesting how it went together. So I do have a video about it. I would encourage you to watch it because it used a technique I hadn't seen before. So this part right here, you kind of you sew these 2 fabrics in a row, and then you do flying geese, half square triangles, and it makes that triangle in the center. So that was pretty cool. The designer on this is Jackie McDonald, and the block is called Light Years. So when I did the video, I couldn't do the setting area because it had been packed, my setting scraps. And so my daughter was here when I was doing that video, and so she's like, I think I know where that is. And so she went and got it. So I have put that block in its setting, and I will show it to you. Here it is. Oh, there we go. And you can kind of see it's setting. The reason it's crumpled like this is last night I went and sewed it together, and it turns out my sewing was not straight, and so I need to fix that. So I have it pinned right here. Like I had been sewing it and I thought it was fine, but it wasn't. I had skipped an area, so I need to rip out a little bit and then make sure that area is straight. And so, yeah, it's just pinned until I do that. So once I get that all finished, I will show it to you all again. I just wanted you to see I did get the setting for it, and then I'm going to be putting it together. So right now that just holds my place. What else have I been doing? I have been working on my long arm. I have the Scarecrow quilt, and it is almost done. You can tell, I'll have some video for you here, and I'll probably make some shorts of it as well. I have the video that so where I am long arming it now is I'm right at the Scarecrow's knees, and I started at the top. So I'm pretty close to being done. So I'm really excited about that. So I'll show you where I am in the process now. All I'm doing is some basic swirls. I have a Lori Holt 108-inch backing that I used on the back. I did end up turning the backing sideways, so the backing is sideways. It's not going up and down. It's a print, so you'll see when it's all done. And then I will probably use some of my scrap binding, that big wheel that I've shown you. It's gotten bigger. I'll use some of that scrap binding to bind it. So after it's all quilted, bound, and has its label, I'll show that to you. And then finally, and I'll have some video here, and I'll also probably have some shorts, I finished my Christmas figs quilt. It has been quilted, bound, washed, and labeled. So I will show that to you. I think it's so pretty. I'm really happy with how it turned out. While the fabrics are technically Christmas, it doesn't necessarily read Christmas on it, but I still think it looks really pretty. So I will I'll share that with you. I like my quilts kind of that crinkly, right? I did just a meander on this quilt on my long arm, and I think it's just fine. I did just a meander. I did not iron it when it was done. I just did the meander, and then I washed it, and when I washed it, it shrinks up, and that's how you get that like crinkly feeling. And so then I feel like it's not necessarily about the quilting, it's just about the blocks themselves, which is totally fine. Zero shade to amazing quilters who do amazing designs. That's not what I mean. Just for me, I am not an amazing quilter at this point. It's going to take me a lot more practice. So for me, I think it's better that whatever design I use just kind of disappears into the quilt, and that the piecing shines, because that's what I have the most experience on. Anyway, I'm still really happy with how it turned out. And yeah, so that's what I've been working on. So coming up, what am I doing? I'm doing more of this Autumn Acres, as we talked about. I will be doing, the next thing I'm going to do is now I have a bunch more scraps and a bunch more light scraps. So I'll be cutting that up and working on my after quilt. I have a lot of those pieces, but not enough to make a quilt. I did the math. I think that they're 6 or 8 inch squares, and it's going to take, I think it's going to take a couple of hundred of those squares before I have enough to make a quilt. So I'm still working on that. I'll be working on that. And then I will still want to work on that Lori Holt quilt, my happy place. So I saved out some of my Lori Holt fabric, and I'll be working on that. I also have a Bonnie and Camille quilt that I have been meaning to do for a while. In fact, I have two. Bonnie and Camille, that's Camille Ross Kelly. Her mom is Bonnie. So I have one that was a quilt kit that I have been meaning to work on, and another one that's from their book. I don't know if you all recall. I'll have to pull out the book. I can show it to you next time. But she did a book, and it came out during COVID. And she asked, Camille Ross Kelly asked for anyone who wanted to, she was making this big quilt. And she was like, if you are interested, send me quilt squares. So myself and my youngest daughter, who I think was 6 at the time, we made several quilts or several quilt squares that she had asked for, and we sent it in to her. And then the thing was that if you sent it in to her with your name, then she would put your name in her book. And so she had hundreds of submissions, and our name, Kristen and Clara, is in the book. And so I'll have to show that to you later. And it's just a really neat thing. And I've been meaning to do that quilt. I have the fabric and the book. So I hope to start on that next. What have you been working on? Are there any new quilts, patterns, or designers that you have been following, or any blogs? I know a lot of people do sew-alongs on their blogs or things like that. Have there been any that you have been wanting to work on? I would love to hear about it. I do think I've had some designs running around in my head. So after we get moved and settled, I hope to share some of those with you. I think some of them are kind of unique. So it'll be fun to share those with you and see what you think. Also coming up here, probably closer in April, I hope to do a few more lives. And any of these patterns that I've finished, I will be doing giveaways for that as well. Thank you, as always, for watching my channel. I really appreciate you, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.